Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is John. This report is for the 21st. So spring has arrived finally. And the excitement coming, well, we broke below the 23%, head all the way back to the zero for the year. And that caused programs jumping in and literally caused complete turnaround. Now, of course, they're going to say it's this, that, the other, Fed liquidity, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, you've got a mixed picture. The Fed is going to accelerate inflation. Fortunately, oil has eased somewhat, which is going to take some of that pressure off. Euro's still climbing. I mean, you get some just strange things taking place in a world that makes no sense sometimes. And we had this confluence of divergent readings even within the MBI readings, because white leading with the magenta pivoting below. Now magenta is pivoting back above after that turnaround move, and we're still getting the consistent. Of course, we had this meeting of the cyan and green even from the other day, and no crossover. So still no decision as far as that goes. Oddly, we ended up with shakeout that's starting to turn red. So you've got this myriad of conflicting readings at this particular stage. I think the 4008, well, 4009 roughly, still becomes resistance, and it's going to take a really strong breakthrough to get past that. And until that happens, you're not going to be able to really get a follow through in any way, shape, or form. So that becomes technically problematic. Just a matter of finding buyers. And in this particular case, shorts got to be cautious because you can't fight the Fed. And if the Fed is throwing unlimited liquidity like it did for the last decade plus, there's no stopping it. You're going to have moments where they pause or whatever, but in aggregate, no, you can't, because they can funnel it now that they've set up throughout the market ways to purchase stocks, bonds, everything, and you're not going to know it, but they certainly do, and it has a material impact. So it's throws a monkey wrench in the idea of the free markets pre 209, just those changes. And you can see here from an NQ standpoint also very bearish with the spike of the white, but you don't have MBI magenta below the 33 just yet. But as soon as that takes place, if white's still leading, then definitely we're looking for another move back to the 50%. So the Nasdaq has been the strength that's really held up the S&P. Crazy in TLT here again. Bonds just way. The yield's just too low given what interest rates are. It makes no sense whatsoever. But it's obviously the heavy trade right now because everybody wants to get into safety. So you're pulling your money out of the banks. Well, okay, put it in treasuries. Well, yeah, you're just not getting a relatively true yield at this particular stage. Oil, this plummet is helpful from a strong economy as well as from an improvement in inflation, and it will have a ripple, but it's going to take a lot longer than just less than a week. So if that can build over the course of a month, yeah, then we're talking about some improvement. And gold just pulling back a little. There's a lot of positive extremes within that gold setup. This is a lot of just exuberance. Same thing with Bitcoin and for ETH. From the euro standpoint, it just as a falling three, but this setup there, just rising for no justification whatsoever. I mean, the U.S. Obviously, with the idea of easing, they figure it's going to weaken the dollar, but relative to what? The eurozone, which is virtually bankrupt. So the rise in the euro makes zero sense whatsoever. And from a Bitcoin standpoint, you can see still holding on to relative gains is pretty much going to mimic what gold is doing. Same with ETH. And I think from that standpoint, it just gives you a real sense of the confusion that's taking place. I mean, intraday, we're getting these swings back and forth. So yes, we're getting mean reversion from the overall market, but in general, when the trend starts, it's been able to hold up. So I would continue to go with that. As always, when we look at the 5K here, the swings are just fantastic. And I think you just have to appreciate where that is and just trade with them. As always, though, I will update you with anything relevant. Trade well. We'll talk again later.